Hello everyone, how are you doing? In this video, we're gonna finish the scanner system. So this is what we will have after finishing this video. So we have a pickup, we can pick this and we can use the scanner like this. There we go. And as you can see, we have sounds as well. So we're gonna do all this in this video. So if you do like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't lose any new content, and let's start. Okay, so first, as suggested in the previously video, let's change a little bit the BP scanner. So let's open this blueprint. And for now, as you can see, we are destroying the actor after this delay is completed with this duration. So let's change this to actually destroy the actor after a maximum size is reached. So to do this, let's disconnect this one. Let me grab this and put to the side here so I can show you. So here we have this get actor scale 3D. This is basically the vector that represents the scale of this actor in the world. So from here we can type vector length. There we go, and this is basically the length of this vector in float. So we're going to use this to know if the maximum size was reached or not. So let me just print this to the screen so you can see. So let me connect this on a print string node like this, and let's print this here. So let's compile and save, and if I hit play now, as you can see on the left, we are printing the scale of the scanner over time, and it is increasing, of course. So let's use this to know. So let me just go back here, let me delete this one, this was only to show you. Let me connect again, and now let's just get this closer because we're gonna do this after this set scale. So here let's type again get actor scale 3D. There we go. And from here we can type vector length, this one, and now we can just check this with a maximum size variable. So here in the variables, let's create a new one. Let's name this max scan size. There we go. Let's just put float here. Let me compile so I can change the default value here. And for now, let's put maybe 80 here so we can test this. And from this vector length, we are gonna drag here and type greater or equal this one. So the vector length, when this is greater or equal to this max scan size, there we go. So this is a boolean, so let's pass this in a branch like this. So when this is true, basically means that the scale of the scanner reached the max size. So from here we can just destroy actor. There we go. So this is basically it. So let's just compile and save and see if this is working. So let's hit play here and let's see. There we go. After the maximum size is reached, this scan was destroyed, and that's what we want. So now we can go back to the scanner here and just delete these events here, and we can delete the duration variable. We don't need this anymore. So there we go. Now let's close this. Okay, so first let's start by importing the chest model. So let's go here to the meshes. Let me create a new folder for the chest. There we go. Let me open this and let's import the model. Again, as I mentioned before, I'll leave a link in the description so you can download all the assets that I'm using in this series. So here in the folder we have models, chest, and this is basically the chest model, this FBX here. So let's import this. Let's just import here. There we go. And this is the model, just a simple chest, as you can see. So let's import the textures as well. So let me create a folder here for the textures. And inside this folder, let's import all the textures. So in the same folder, in the chest folder, we have the textures here. So this is the texture. So let me just import this. There we go. And now we can create a material for this. So let me just right click, create a material. Let me name M chest. There we go. And let's open this, and here let me open all the textures. So to open the content browser here, just press Ctrl and space on the keyboard, and you have the content browser. Let's just navigate to the folder, textures here, and let's grab all these textures here and put in the graph, and let's just connect the appropriate one to the pins. So the base here goes to the base color. So here we have this one, which is the metallic. So let's connect on the metallic here. Then we have the normals here. We have the roughness. So this goes on the roughness, of course. And here we have the emission map, this one. So for this, let's actually multiply this texture with a color. Let me just make some room here. There we go. Let's multiply this with a color. So just hold 3 on the keyboard and left click to add this constant tree vector. Let me make this a green one, maybe. There we go. And we can multiply this. So hold M on the keyboard and left click to add a multiply. Let's multiply this color with this map. And now we can multiply this with some intensity. So let me hold S on the keyboard and left click to add a scalar parameter. Let me call this emission intensity. There we go. Let me put maybe 100 here. And now let's just multiply these two. There we go. And this is basically the emissive color. Let's apply and save. And now we can create a material instance of this material. So let's right click here in the material, create material instance. Let me name this MI chest. There we go. And we can apply this material instance on this mesh. So here in the mesh, on the materials here, let's search for the material instance of this chest. And there we go. We have this basically model for the chest. So let's just close this and let's start working on this system. Okay, so let's make so we can spawn the scanner when we press a key, and of course in the player's location. So we're going to do this in the component for the scanner, because we only need to do this of course when we have the component attached to the character, so when we pick the scanner. So let's go to blueprints, components, and let's open the BPC scanner here. There we go. And we need to spawn the scanner when we press a key. So first we need a key. So to do this, let's go to the third person folder, input, action, and let's create a new action here. So let's right click, go to input, then input action, and here let's create, let me name this IA for input action, and let me name this scan. There we go. Now we just need to go to this input mapping context default here. Let's open this, and here we need to add a new mapping. So here in this mapping, let's hit this plus to add a new one. Here we need to select what action is, so this one, IA scan. And if we open this, we can select a key, so we can just press this one, and for this I'm going to use the F key. Of course you can change this to any key you want. So that's all for now. Let's just save this and close, and here we can start creating the event. Okay, so after creating and adding the input action to the input mapping context, here in the blueprint in the BPC scanner, the component, we can right click and type IA scan. There we go, this one in the action events category. So let's get this. So basically this event fires when we press the key, and we're gonna do this from the completed, so when we press and release the key, right? So first we need to know if we can scan, because if we do not check this, we will be able to press the key like crazy, like every time, and do the scanning every time, and we don't want that. So let's first check if we actually can scan. So to do this, let's create a variable here. Let's name this scan. There we go. This is a boolean. So let's compile here, and let's get this one and pass in a branch. There we go, from the completed here in the branch. So if we can scan, we're gonna set this can scan variable to false, because we just scan, right? So let's get this here and set this to false. So after this, we can spawn the scanner. So let's right click and type spawn actor from class, this node here. So let's connect this to the execution pin here, and we need to pick a class here. So the class will be the scan that we created. So BP scanner, that one that grows over time, right? So now we need to pass a transform. So let's actually right click on this and split the struct here, because we only need to pass the transform location, and this is the character location. So here in the component we have a node called get owner that gets the owner of this component, and in this case it is the character. So let's right click and type get owner. There you go. And from this we can get the location. So from this let's type get actor location, and this is basically the location that we want to spawn the scanner. So let's connect this in the spawn transform location, and there we go. And actually what I want to set the variables from this scanner blueprint here in this scanner component. So the scan speed and the max size that we created. So to do this, let's actually go back here to that blueprint. So let's go to blueprints, this scanner here, and here we need to set the scan speed and the max scan size to instance editable and expose on spawn. So let's check these two for these two variables, instance editable and expose on spawn. There we go. Let's compile and save, and let's go back to the scanner here. And if we right click on this node and click on refresh nodes, now we have this here. So I want to create a variable for this here as well. So let's click on the plus here in the variables and let's type scan speed. There we go. Let me put this in a float, and let's make this instance editable so we can edit this from the character, right? So let's compile and save. Let me drag this here and put on the scan speed, and let's create a new one for the max scan size. It is a float as well, and for now let's make this by default 80. There we go. Let's get this one and put here on the max size. So when the game is running, if we want to change this from the character, we can. There we go. Okay, so after this I'm going to set the can scan variable to true so we can scan again, but of course this needs some cooldown. So to do this, let's from here, from the spawn actor, let's type delay. There you go, and let's create a variable for the cooldown. So let's go here to the variables and let's name this scan cooldown. There we go. Let me compile this and save. And let's put here maybe, I don't know, 2 seconds or something like this. And let's get this and put in the duration here. And after this, we can set this variable to true. So let's get the can scan here and set this to true. So this is basically it. So let's compile and save, and let's test this. So here, let me delete this scan blueprints here, and let's hit play to see if this is working. So right now I don't have the component on the character, so if I press F, nothing happens because the code is not running. But if I get the scanner here, there we go, now we have the component on the character, as you can see we have in the left arm, and if I press the F key, nothing happens again. So let's see why is that. Oh, okay, of course, this can scan first needs to be set to true by default. So this was my mistake, so just set the can scan to true. Now if we compile and save, let's test this again. Let me hit play, and again, if I press F, nothing happens because the code is not running, the component was not created yet. But if I get this pickup item here, as you can see, now we have the component in the character here, and if I press F, there we go. This scanner actually is created, but it's not growing. Let's see why is that. The max scan size is set to 80. Okay, the scan speed is set to 0. So this was again my mistake. Let's put this maybe in, I don't know, 10, something like this. So you need to set these default values here. So for the scan speed, I set 10. For the max scan size, 80. And the scan cooldown to 2. So now if we compile and save and hit play, again, nothing happens if I press F now, but if I pick this scanner here and press F, there we go. As you can see, we spawn the scanner and the scanner is growing. And of course, if I pressing, I cannot do another scan before 2 seconds, as you can see. And of course, you can play with these values. So maybe let's go back to the component here. And let's make the cooldown to, let's leave at 2 seconds, but let's make the scan speed to maybe 550. Let's compile and save. Let's hit play so we can see if this is good. And there we go. This starts to look like a scan, as you can see. So this is basically it for spawning the scanner. Okay, so now we can start creating these scannable things in the world. But first we need to know what items is scannable. To do this, let's create an interface. So let's go to Blueprints, Interfaces, and let's create a new one. So let's right click, go to Blueprint and Blueprint Interface to create a new one. Let me name this BPI Scannable. So basically every blueprint that implements this interface will be scannable. So let's create the chest blueprint so we can test this. So here in the blueprint folder, let me right click, blueprint class, and let's create an actor. Let me name this BP chest. There we go. Let's open this blueprint. And first, let's start by adding the model here. So in the components, let's add a static mesh component. There we go. Let me name this static mesh chest, and here in the details in the static mesh we can choose the model, so let's choose the static mesh chest. There we go. And now let's just rotate this on the z-axis minus 90 degrees so this faces the global forward here. There we go. Let me compile this, save, and now we can start placing this in the world. So let's just drag this here. Let me rotate and put one here. And let me put maybe one here so we can test the scanner. There we go. So now to make this chest scannable, we just need to go to the blueprint here in the class settings, and here in the implemented interfaces. For now we have no interfaces, but let's just add one. So click and add here, and let's just type BPI Scannable. So this is basically a scannable item now. So let's compile and save, and now let's start creating the widget that will show when this chest is scanned. So let's create the widget now. To create the widget, let's first import the icon for the chest. So let's go to content here and let's create a widget folder. So let me name this widgets. There we go. And inside this folder, let's create a folder for the icons. And let's import the icon. So just right click and import, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can download all the assets here. So go to the folder, and here in the icons we have this icon for the chest. So let's open this. There we go. And this is basically a transparency icon. So that's what we need to use. So let's go to the widget folder here, let's right click and let's create a new user interface. So go to user interface, widget blueprint, and just select user widget here. Let me name this WP, then chest loot icon. There we go. WB stands for widget blueprint. So let's open this, and this will be really simple. So let's just add a size box here. So just type size box. There we go. We can add this one, and to see the size of this, let's change from fill screen here to desired on screen. There we go. And for the size, let's override the width and the height here of the size box to maybe 120. There we go. Now let's add an image here so we can add the icon. So here in the palette, let's search for image and let's drag this image component here. There we go. And let me name this loot icon image. And here in the appearance in the brush we can change the image, so just select the chest loot icon here, and there we go. This is basically the widget that we need. So now we just need to add this widget in this chest blueprint or in any blueprint that you want. So to do this, in the components here, let's add a widget blueprint. So let's just type widget here and add this one, and I'll name widget blueprint, so WB loot icon, and there we go. Here in this component we can select in the widget class the class that we want. So here let's type WB and let's select the widget that we created. There we go. Let's compile and save, and let me just put this a little bit up here and let me make this smaller like this. There we go. Let me compile and save, and let me show you. Now every chest in the world has this icon here, as you can see. But if I hit play now, so let me show you. As you can see, we have the icon, so this is always enabled, and this doesn't follow the camera, as you can see. And of course, we are not seeing this in front of everything. That's what we need to do. So to do this, let's go back to the chest blueprint here. There we go, and we need to change the space here in the component for the widget. We need to change the space from world to screen. So this will always draw on the screen above everything. So if I hit play now, so you can see, we have these icons, and this is always on the screen no matter from what angle we look, as you can see, and above everything. So as you can see, the chest is behind the wall, but we are seeing the icon. So there we go. This is what we need. But for now, this is actually really big. So to change this, let's again go back to the chest here. And now that we choose space, we can define the draw size. So let's change this, I don't know, to maybe 50. So let's see, let's put 50 here. Let's compile and save, and let's hit play to see. There we go. So we have the icons here, and we have that one that is behind the walls here. So if I go here, we have the chest. There we go. So now we just need to make sure that these icons only appear when we scan these chests. So let's do this. Okay, so to do this, let's go to the chest here first, and let's select this widget component, and here in the details, let's type visible. And let's uncheck this by default. So if I compile now and save and hit play, of course, we cannot see the icons, and that's what we want. So let's now start creating the function that will show this icon when we scan this, when we use the scan. So to do this, let's go to the interface first in the Scannable interface, and let's create a function here to show this icon. So here in the new function, let me rename this to show icon. There we go. Let me compile and save now. And because we add this function in the interface here, and in every blueprint that we implemented this, so here in the class settings, if we go here to the interfaces here, we have the implemented interfaces. We add the BPI Scannable. So because of this, we have the show icon function here to implement. So let's double click this to implement. And when this event fires, we need to set the visibility of this icon to true. So let's just drag a reference for this in the graph here, and from here we can set visibility. So just type set visibility here, and there we go. For this we can set the new visibility to true. But after some time, I want to set the visibility to false again. So for this, let's use a retriggerable delay, this node here. So I will use this because every time that this fires, this delay will reset. And if I use the normal delay, this node here don't reset even if we fire this again. And for this, I just think that resetting this delay is better, so let's use this one. I accidentally delete, so let's add the set visibility again. So set visibility to true, there we go, and the retriggerable delay. So for the duration, we can create a variable for this. So let's go to variables here and let's create a icon visibility duration. There we go. Let me compile this and save. And for the default value for this, let me put maybe 5 seconds. So let me just drag this and plug into the duration here. So after this, we can set the visibility to false again. So let's drag from this and set visibility to false. So let's leave the new visibility as false and let me add a reroute here like this. There we go. To add this reroute, you just need to double click on the line like this one. So let me delete this and connect here again. So this is basically what is gonna happen when we fire this show icon, and we will fire this from the scannable, from the scanner blueprint actually. So let's do this now. Okay, so let's go to the folders here and let's open the BP scanner blueprint. There we go. So a couple of episodes before, I actually set the collision for the sphere to no collision. So if we select the sphere here and scroll down to collisions, we have set the collisions preset to no collision. But for this to work, we actually need to set this to overlap all. So just select overlap all here. Let me compile and save. And now let's go to the event graph here. So select the sphere and scroll down until we find the event here. And we need the onComponent begin overlap event. So let's hit the plus here so we can implement this event. So this event will basically fire every time that we overlap an actor. So here in the other actor, this is the actor that we are overlapping, and we need to know if this actor is scannable. So basically if this actor implements the scannable interface. So from here we can type does implement interface. There we go. And here in the interface we can select the BPI scannable interface, and this is a boolean. So let's pass this in a branch. There we go. Let me connect the execution pin. And if this actor implements this interface, the true will fire, and of course if not, the false will fire. And if this is true, that means that this actor is scannable. So from here we can call the show icon event that we coded before. So let me connect on the true here. There we go. And let me add a reroute here and here. And this is basically it. So if we compile now and save, and let's go back to the map here. Let me hit play so we can see. So now if I get the pickup here for the scanner, and if I do an scan, there we go. When the scan reaches the chest, the icon will show, and after 5 seconds, the icon will hide itself. That's what we want. So I think the other one, the scanner is being destroyed before we reach this. There we go. This is being destroyed. So let's increase a little bit here. So let's go to the components, the scanner component, and here in the max scan size, let's change this to maybe 120 so we can test this. Let me compile and save, and let's hit play to test this. So if I pick this and scan, there we go. As you can see, when this reach the chest, the icon will show up, and after 5 seconds the icon will hide itself. That's what we want, and this is basically the system done. So now, just to add a little bit more to this system, let's add some sounds. So here in the content folder, let me create a new folder for SFX. And inside this folder, let me create a new folder for the scanner sounds. So let me call this scanner. Inside this folder, let me import the sounds. So again, this folder will be for download in the description, so just download that. And we have the sounds folder here. So here we have the pickup sound and the scanner sound. So let me import these two. There we go. And the pickup is just this sound. And we have the scanner sound. So this is just basically one. Of course, if you want, you can change this to whatever you want, but let's use this for now. So let's start with the pickup sound. So to do this, let's open the pickup scanner blueprint here. There we go. And here, after we add the component, before destroying this, let's play the sound. So from here, we can type just play sound. Let's use this play sound 2D here. So after adding, we're gonna play the sound, then destroying the actor. So here in the sound, we can select this one, the pickup. So just select this, compile and save, and that's all. If we play now, and if I pick this, as you can see, we have the sound every time that we pick an item like this. So let me do again. There we go. So now let's make that every time that we scan, we do the scanning here, we have the sound for the scanning as well. So to do this, let me close this and let's open the component for the scanner, because this is where we have the input. So this is where we are dealing with spawning the scanner, and after we spawn the scanner, we can again play the sound. So here we can just type play sound 2D again. So we're gonna spawn the scanner blueprint, we play the sounds, then after this delay we set the can scan to true again, so we can scan again. So here we just need to select the scanner sound. Let me play again. There we go. So let's select this scanner sound. Let me compile and save. And that's all. So let's hit play again to see. Let me pick this. There we go. And if I press F now, we have the sounds. So there we go. That's all for this system. And this is basically it for this system. So we have the whole system working now. We can pick the item, we can scan for loot, as you can see if I hit here. There we go. As you can see, we can scan for things, and we have the sounds. So I just created this open world map to show you, and I just changed some values here to work in this map. But as you can see, if I scan, we have this icon, and as the scanner reaches the other chest, we have the icon as well. So let me do again. There we go. As you can see, the system is working. So this is basically it. So if you do like this video, please hit the like button, because this helps me a lot, and subscribe so you don't lose any new content and series that I'm going to do in this channel. As always, thank you for watching, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.